Free-for-all Friday coming at you guys. Today we are going to be doing a Marvel Snap update video. So yesterday the game was updated and some new cards were changed. For instance, Blob has now changed from a 6-4 to a 6-0. His new ability is merge cards from your deck into this until it gains 15 or more power. And of course the ongoing can't be moved. So what this means for Blob is that he no longer can shoot up to 30-40 power. He will remain at, I think the max he can be is around 31, depending on what cards you hit, maybe 30, depending on what cards you can hit. So for Blob, the way he works now is he will go to 15. So if he hits 15 and then eats a Viper, for instance, he will shoot up from 14 to 18. And if he eats, let's say, to 14 and then he eats Destroyer, he will shoot to 30, because Destroyer's new power is 16, and that is the next card we're going to talk about. Destroyer went from a 6-15 to a 6-16 power card. Not too big of a change, but I do understand why they made it. They had to make him just a little bit bigger. Viper has had a change. She went from a 3-4 to a 3-5. There was no change of ability with Destroyer or Viper, but their overall power has increased. Celine, she has not changed much. She went from a -1 to a 1-2. Her ability remains the same. I think that is a good change because at a 1-1, she was not a very good card at all. So it totally makes sense for them to give her that 1-2 powers to make her so that she isn't too negatively affected. Then Electra, the card that you use when you first start playing and then never touch again. Electra is a 1-2 now. They've increased its power to 2. Makes sense to me. Very underwhelming at 1-1. Dazzler has had a cost change. She is no longer a 3 energy cost card. She is a 2 energy card. She went from 3-2 down to 2-2. And another big change, my man Hercules, flexing his muscles, has went from a 4-6 to a 4-7. I do like this change because I felt like he was a little underwhelming. It's nice to have that extra power coming out of such a powerhouse as Hercules. It makes sense for him to have more power. And then the final change for this update was Dagger. Dagger was previously a 2-2. She has changed to a 2-0. However, her ability changed to match it. So now Dagger, previously she read, when this moves to a location, +2 power for each enemy card there. Now she reads, when this moves to a location, +3 power for each enemy card there. So she is boosting by more. However, she starts off 2 lower. So she can sometimes get bigger, but the -2 is a bit of a hurtful thing for her. I think maybe she should have been a 2-1 personally, but overall I think these are pretty good changes. The Blob change had to happen because the Tribunal Blob deck was way too strong. The fact that you could just drop Blob and then make a Taskmaster on turn 6 was ridiculous, dropping 60 power here, 60 power there. And if you have Kiara out there, they couldn't even kill the Blob to stop the Taskmaster. So the Blob change was very, very necessary at 6-0, and he is definitely not dead. It is still a very strong card in the Blob Thanos match. Maybe the Tribunal deck that I was previously playing is slightly weaker, but Blob himself is still very good. Again, the Destroyer change was a positive. He did need a little bit of an increase there. The Viper change, I understand. Celine, definitely necessary. Electra, good change. Dazzler, all right change, making it a 2-2. It does hurt Surfer a little bit. I don't know if that was their intentions, but it does stop you from loading up Brood and then Surfer with the Dazzler on 3, boosting a whole bunch of cards. Hercules, positive change. Dagger, I believe, should have been a 2-1, but who am I to say? I didn't make the game. So that was the January 18th over the airways card balance update, and everybody was definitely shocked to see Blob make that change without an actual game update. So to be an over the air, that was a pretty big unexpected change. The current meta in Marvel Snap has shifted slightly if you haven't kept up with the meta. So the meta for this week currently with Thanos Lockjaw, Thanos Control, Lockdown, and Deadpool Destroy all being considered Tier 1. And of course, there is the Tier 2 decks, which are good cards. Black Knight is the name people are calling this. So I believe this deck might be Tier 1. I've lost to this deck a tremendous amount of times. And then Electro Ramp and Hella Lockjaw being considered Tier 2. There are a few Silent Performer decks, which is Sarah Control, Shuri Scar, and Move. Yes, the Move deck has been considered a Silent Performer. And as somebody that has been trying out the Move decks for some time and then trying out the new Move deck with the change to Kingpin, I can agree that Move is definitely a Silent Performer. It is a pretty strong deck, and it works when it works. Alright guys, so this has been Free For All Friday, and we did a Marvel Snap update for this week. Catch us back on Monday for Marvel Monday, Tuesday for Time Wizard Tuesday, some hot Yu-Gi-Oh action, Wednesday for What's Cookin' Wednesday, that is the deck profile day, Thursday for Thunderous Thursday, that is our dedicated Pokemon day, and then again for Friday's Free For All Friday. So next week I will be heading to Liverpool Regionals, and I will need to pre-record videos for the following week. Otherwise, I will not have time to make some content. So if you see some things that have been posted and aren't matching current game updates, that might be why. Because I had to pre-record these to make sure I get the content out there, because I will be gone for 4 days, 5 days maybe. So it will take me time, but keep an eye out for all the great Liverpool regional content that I will be posting. We'll be vlogging the entire trip from Friday to Sunday. Keep us in your thoughts, and make sure you like, subscribe, and check out Daywalker cards on all platforms.